How are you using your power? Is true power found in the ability to destroy or in the ability to control? Have you ever been so angry that you wanted to smash something or said something that deeply hurt someone, just because at that moment you felt you were right? Destroying is far easier than building. You can tear down a building in seconds, but it takes years to construct it. You can hurt someone with just one sentence, but it takes much longer to heal the wound. In life, some people use their power to destroy, while others use it to create value, to heal, and to change the world. So, which group do you belong to? Sit down, pour yourself a cup of tea, and join me in a surprising story. A story about a notorious bandit and a great man. One used his strength to destroy, while the other needed only one sentence to change an entire life. Are you ready? Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a dense forest where fear loomed over every tree and every winding path, there lived a notorious bandit named Angulimala. He was not just a mere thief, he was a ruthless murderer. He killed without hesitation, and to prove his achievements, he would cut off the fingers of his victims, string them into a gruesome necklace, and wear it around his neck as a symbol of power and brutality. He spread terror wherever he went. The mere mention of his name made people tremble with fear. No one dared to step foot into the forest where he hid, but one day, someone did. Someone entered the forest with complete calm, without a trace of fear. That person was none other than the Buddha. Angulimala saw a man in a saffron robe walking calmly through the forest. He was surprised. People usually ran away the moment they caught sight of him. But this man didn't. Angulimala drew his sword and marched toward the Buddha, shouting, "Stop! Don't you know who I am?" But the Buddha kept walking, his steps steady, his expression serene, as if no danger were present. Angulimala shouted again, "I said, stop!" This time, the Buddha stopped, smiled gently, and said, "I have stopped long ago. It is you who are still running." Angulimala furrowed his brows. He didn't understand. He was the one who struck fear into others, yet for the first time he felt unsettled by a man who uttered only a single sentence. He asked, "What do you mean by that?" The Buddha replied, "I have stopped harming others, stopped spreading suffering. But you are still running after greed, after violence. Do you have the courage to stop?" For the first time, Angulimala felt an empty void inside him. The Buddha looked at Angulimala for a moment, then said, "Before you kill me, do something for me. Cut off that tree branch over there." Angulimala laughed. Was this a joke? He raised his sword, and with a single swift strike, the branch fell to the ground. "Well done," the Buddha said. "Now, put it back as it was." Angulimala stared in disbelief, his voice dripping with mockery. "Are you insane? No one can do that." The Buddha smiled softly. Destroying is easy. Even a child can do it, but only those who are truly strong know how to protect, build, and heal. For the first time in his life, Angulimala was left speechless. Imagine a child holding a Lego castle in their hands. With one punch, one careless swipe, the entire structure can collapse into pieces. But to rebuild it from scratch, that requires time, patience, and creative thinking. True power does not lie in how quickly you can destroy, but in how much you can build. Before meeting the Buddha, Angulimala was a figure of terror. He had shattered countless lives. But after that moment of awakening, he became a healer. He abandoned his cruel past and chose a different path, a path of restoration. If a man who once took hundreds of lives could change, then so can you. Think of Nelson Mandela. a man imprisoned for 27 years in South Africa, subjected to relentless cruelty under the apartheid regime. He could have walked out of prison consumed by a desire for revenge. But he didn't. Instead of destroying, he chose to build. He chose forgiveness. And because of that decision, he helped South Africa rise above its deep-seated hatred and step into a new era, a united nation, no longer divided by racial barriers. If Mandela could choose the path of healing after enduring such suffering, could you do the same in the face of life's everyday conflicts? When someone hurts you, instead of responding with anger, try to respond with understanding. When you encounter difficulties, instead of placing blame, focus on finding solutions. When you feel lost, instead of drowning in disappointment, find a way to learn from the situation. The world already has enough anger, enough people eager to destroy. But those who possess true strength are the ones who know how to rebuild. Ask yourself, what have you built today? A relationship, an idea, a simple act of kindness? Because true power doesn't lie in a clenched fist. It lies in the ability to heal and create. Let's return to the story of Angulimala. If he had never met the Buddha, if he had continued to believe that his power lay in killing, he might have gone down in history as nothing more than a terrifying monster. But in one moment of awakening, he changed. He couldn't erase the past. He couldn't bring back the lives he had taken. But he could spend the rest of his life making amends, building something good from the ruins he had created. Now, ask yourself, are you doing the same in your own life? Are you destroying without realizing it? A harsh criticism can destroy someone's confidence. A moment of anger can crack the foundation of a relationship. A hasty decision can push you away from those who love you most. A timely word of encouragement can lift someone's spirit. A single act of forgiveness can heal deep wounds. A small gesture of kindness can completely transform someone's life. Think about the great figures you admire, those who left a lasting mark on history. They were not the ones who used their power to destroy, but the ones who used it to build. A real-life example, Viktor Frankl, finding meaning amid suffering. Consider Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived the Auschwitz concentration camp during World War II. He witnessed the death of his family and endured unimaginable torment. Yet, instead of choosing hatred, he chose to build. After the war, he didn't spend the rest of his life seeking revenge. Instead, he dedicated himself to helping others find meaning in their suffering. His book, Man's Search for Meaning, has since helped millions around the world overcome their pain. If someone who endured such a hellish reality could choose forgiveness and growth, could we not also do the same in our everyday lives? If you want to change, what do you need? You need 3 priceless treasures. 1. A wise mentor, someone who can guide you toward the right path. 2. Timeless books, ideas and knowledge that can reshape your perspective. 3. Good friends, people who inspire your growth instead of holding you back. Now, take a moment to reflect on your life. Do you have a mentor to guide you? Are you reading books that expand your mind? Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, or those who keep you stuck in the past? Here's the formatted text with emphasized emotional words. Let's return to the story of Angulimala. If he had never met the Buddha, he might have continued killing, forever trapped in a cycle of violence and guilt. But he met a mentor, and that encounter completely transformed his life. The same is true for you. You may have made mistakes. You may have wandered down the wrong path. But your past does not define your future. The real question is, are you ready to stop running and choose to change? Here's the formatted text with emotional emphasis. Within the next 24 hours, do one thing to move yourself forward. Find a mentor to learn from. start reading a book that can shift your perspective. Meet a good friend and share the path you want to pursue. Remember, no one is born perfect, but anyone can become better. Now, as you set your teacup down, ask yourself, what am I running after? And am I ready to stop and change? If you enjoy stories and lessons like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next videos. See you in the next tea session.